Listening Library presents Lizzie McGuire, Books 1 through 4, my very first way cool boxed set, featuring When Moms Attack, adapted by Kim Ostro, Totally Crushed, adapted by Kiki Thorpe, Lizzie Goes Wild and the Rise and Fall of the Kate Empire, Kirsten Larson. Read for you by Rachel L. Jacobs.
When Moms Attack, adapted by Kim Ostro, based on the series created by Terry Minsky. Part 1. Chapter 1. A tornado of clothing flew around Lizzie McGuire's room. Her jeans lay in a heap at the foot of her bed. Sweaters and sweatshirts lounged across her computer monitor. Even Lizzie's t-shirts hung off the lamps. It could have been declared a federal disaster area, but Lizzie paid no attention. She was way too busy searching through her drawer for the perfect pair of socks. When she finally found them, she shoved them into her purple backpack along with the rest of her camping gear. Lizzie can see what you're thinking, but she has the situation totally under control. She's been packing for the overnight science trip since, last year. Lizzie packed her favorite jeans, then reached for her pajamas with the pink ducks. She hesitated. Did she really want her entire class to see her in those ducky pajamas? Maybe not, Lizzie decided, tossing them in the reject pile. As she combed her unmade bed for last-minute outfit choices, Lizzie picked up her soft but tattered favorite stuffed animal, Mr. Snuggles. "Sorry, Mr. Snuggles," Lizzie said, placing him back safely on his side of the bed. "I'd never live it down if I brought you." Downside, bugs, snakes, and Lizzie's science teacher, Mr. Pettis. Upside, 48 hours in the woods, parentless. Just Lizzie, Miranda, and Gordo. It's like Survivor, but for school credit. Downstairs, the rest of the McGuire family sat around the breakfast table. Mr. McGuire was sharing the newspaper with Lizzie's mom. Lizzie's little brother, Matt, was eating a huge bowl of cereal and reading the back of the box. Lizzie needed a break from all her hard work, so she ran downstairs with her backpack to eat breakfast. The moment she set foot in the kitchen, the phone rang. "Who would call during breakfast?" Mr. McGuire asked from behind his paper. Mrs. McGuire went to pick it up, but Lizzie intercepted. "Hello?" "Okay," her best friend Miranda said. There was no time for pleasantries. "Let's go over this one more time." Miranda began to run through her checklist. "Flashlight?" she asked. "Check," Lizzie and Gordo replied. Gordo, Lizzie's other best friend, was also on the line. "Non-dorky pajamas?" "Check," they responded. Lizzie heaved a sigh of relief as she walked out of the kitchen. She had made the right decision about the ducks. Matt picked up the phone extension in the den. "Mom wants to know if you have batteries for your flashlight," he said. "Mom!" Lizzie shouted. "Matt's on the phone!" Mrs. McGuire ran into the den to take the phone out of her son's hand. "What are you doing? Respect your sister's privacy," she scolded. Then she put the phone to her ear. "Honey, do you have batteries for that flashlight?" "Mom, I'm talking to my friends," Lizzie griped. "I know that. I'm sorry," Mrs. McGuire said. She just couldn't help herself. She was even more excited about the camping trip than Lizzie was. "Hi, Mrs. McGuire," Miranda and Gordo said in unison. "You guys are gonna have the best time," Mrs. McGuire went on. "Camping out, staying up late, telling ghost stories. I remember." Lizzie knew she had to come up with something quick, or her mother would babble on all day. "Mom, there wasn't enough clean underwear for me to pack," she said craftily.
"Oh, my,"
Mrs. McGuire gasped. "Bye, guys." There was a click as she hung up the phone.
"That was a brilliant ruse,"
Gordo congratulated Lizzie. She grinned. "Hey, have you guys gotten the talk yet?" Miranda asked as she folded her favorite sweatshirt.
"You mean the stick with your buddy talk?"
Gordo asked. His mom had just finished lecturing him at breakfast. Lizzie sighed. "No, but I'm sure it's coming." She dreaded the moment she would have to hear all the do's and don'ts of camping from her mother. "See you on the bus?" "If I don't get lost first," Gordo said with a laugh as he cleaned the lens of his video camera. Miranda and Lizzie giggled and said goodbye. Back in the kitchen, Mrs. McGuire was nosing through her daughter's backpack, comparing the contents against the school list she held in her hand. "Mom, I'm old enough to pack myself," Lizzie said, walking into the room. "Plus, it's only overnight." "I know, but it's not like you're going over to Miranda's house. I can't just swing by if you forget something." Mrs. McGuire's voice was muffled. Her head was almost completely inside Lizzie's backpack. "You're taking this big step into a whole new world, and I just want to make sure you're fully prepared before I let you go. Remember to listen to your chaperone." "Mm-hmm." Lizzie tried to make it sound as though she were listening. Here was the talk Miranda had warned her about. It was just as boring as she had feared it would be. "And stick with your buddy," Mrs. McGuire added. "Disappear once in a mall when you're 6 and you're branded for life." "Why can't I go camping?" Matt whined, pouring himself a second bowl of cereal. Mr. McGuire put down his newspaper. "We'll camp this weekend with your mom," he said. Matt's ears perked up. Finally, he was going to sleep in the great outdoors with bears and bugs and maybe a snake or two. "In the house," Mr. McGuire added, turning back to his paper. Matt slumped in his chair and kicked the table leg. "But it's not the same," he protested. "I mean, you won't even let me light a campfire in the living room." "I know," Mrs. McGuire agreed, mussing Matt's hair. "Dad is such a wet blanket." When Mrs. McGuire finished rummaging through her daughter's backpack, she made a very important discovery. "Honey, you don't have any toilet paper in here." Lizzie blushed. "Mom, it doesn't say to pack any toilet paper on the list." If humiliating Lizzie was an Olympic event, her mother would take home the gold. "Well, you can't go to the woods without toilet paper." Mrs. McGuire's voice was matter-of-fact. Clearly, she had no idea how embarrassing this conversation was for Lizzie. Lizzie rolled her eyes and clamped her mouth shut. She couldn't wait to get out into the woods. She was sure that there was nothing in nature remotely as embarrassing as her mother. Chapter 2. After school, Lizzie, Miranda, and Gordo sat around the lunchroom waiting to board the bus. Their science teacher, Mr. Pettis, was supposed to be the chaperone, but he still hadn't shown up. Miranda and Lizzie discussed which outfits they had brought, while Gordo pulled out his video camera. At that moment, Kate pranced into the lunchroom, wearing a camouflage sundress and matching sunglasses. She even had matching luggage on wheels. Kate's best friend, Claire, was right behind her as usual. Together, they ruled the school and made Lizzie sick. "Hey, Lizzie," Kate said in an
Sample complete. Ready to continue?